Hello, hello. Welcome to the fifth and final day of my YouVersion plan, Overcoming Overwhelm, which you can check out on the Bible app. It looks just like this, and we're on day 5 of our 5 days. If this is the first time that you've found one of my videos, then I do encourage you to go back and check out the others, and also to go to YouVersion and search for either the title Overcoming Overwhelm with me, Naomi Adu, or indeed my name, Naomi Adu, where you'll be able to follow along with the plan. The plan on the Bible app is where you'll get all of the scripture references, as well as obviously the scripture itself, and you'll be able to get my written devotional, which goes along and accompanies each day. These videos are a bit of a bonus and a bit of a way for us to further dive in, and also to talk about things in the comments as and when they come up for you. So day 5, we're looking at a renewed purpose. The Bible references for today are 1 Kings 19:15 to 18, and then also Isaiah 40:28 to 31. Now, I talk about the beginning of the devotional for today's message, the fact that when both of my children were born and the midwives kind of placed them on me, there was that renewed sense of purpose. There was that renewed sense of some spark that I didn't previously have, where I still don't think I'll ever quite get my head around it. But that fact that this was something, these children were people that I had been called to look after. And it's something that even now as I speak about is like, wow, mind-blowing. I also personally feel that deep sense of calling and purpose with regards to the work that I do in the devotionals that I write and the teaching that I give, the coaching that I do, and the writing of my books and my devotional plans like this one. And I don't doubt that for you as well, there is that sense of purpose, both with your parenting and with your work-based productivity. All of these things, both of these things, they'll stir up that purpose. But sometimes when you're feeling weary, when you're in the midst of the waiting, sometimes even the wailing, you might just think, what is this indeed like calling? Is this really like what God's doing? Am I really partnering with God in the midst of this? Like, what does this mean? And the good news is that Elijah felt the same. And the word tells us, and this is where we get, the passage in Isaiah, that God's the renewer of our strength. And you can read those passages and they're referenced to in the plan. But not only that, is that he also gives us renewed purpose and vision when we're in the midst of feeling like we're overwhelmed, when we're in the midst of feeling like we're in the pit. Bear in mind, Elijah said, I've had enough, I want to die. And so we're definitely in good company with people in the Bible that have felt that sense of overwhelm, that sense of just despair, right? And so what happens in our text is that Elijah's told to go back. He's given this renewed sense of purpose where he already was. And I wonder if that's something that you need to hear today as well. The idea that there could be a renewed sense of purpose exactly where you are, even if you feel like actually you're just tired from it all now. You're over it and you're frustrated. But he goes back, and the renewed purpose that's there is that he's to appoint a new king, and that he's also to appoint Elisha, who will eventually become his successor, but first becomes his servant, because let's be honest, he needs a bit of help. God was reminding Elijah that he wasn't done with him yet. He wasn't done with the purposes and plans that he had for his life. And he didn't just remind him that that was that and then send him on his merry way. If we remember back a couple of days ago, he also reminded him of the fact that he was not alone in this. There were 7,000 others that were to help him to fulfill what it is that was happening for him in his life. You're not on your own either. When you grapple with the juggle, the dance of that work, of that motherhood, I've put in the plan of graphs and grizzling, sometimes simultaneously. You're in the right place. And more importantly, God is with you in that, even when it feels otherwise. And so if you're feeling right now like everything is like Groundhog Day, that it's the same day in and day out, ask God for that sense of renewed purpose. What would it look like for purpose to be renewed right where you are? Elijah didn't actually go somewhere different. He went back where he was, and there was renewed purpose there, both in his successor and in his appointing of a new king. And there can be renewed purpose for you where you're at too. The food for thought, journal prompts, prayer prompts, comments for discussion in the comments are these three. Where do I currently feel a strong sense of purpose and passion? Number 2, how much of my time and effort am I giving to where I feel that? And number 3, who is or will be part of my support system as I pursue all that God has for me in this season of my life? So I really hope that that has served you. I really hope that this plan, Overcoming Overwhelm, has served you going through these 5 days together. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love for us to chat and talk about it. And I'd really love for you ultimately to recognise that although sometimes it feels hard, although sometimes it can feel overwhelming, God is in the midst. God is not done. There is purpose, there is plan, and there is provision for you even here. Don't forget to check out the plan in YouVersion in the Bible app if you haven't yet. Don't forget to share with me. I'd love to hear from you, and ultimately keep going and keep growing. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. And do follow me on the Bible app, Naomi Adu, to follow along when you'll get notified when there's new plans, of which there's another one in the works. So I'll speak to you soon and see you there. Keep going, keep growing.